In today's lesson, we're going to be talking about going small. And everyone is given the same 24 hours, yet the 24 hours are used quite differently. Outcomes look wildly different, and some seem to move forward with purpose and clarity, building and growing and achieving, while others, unfortunately, feel stuck, busy, but not fruitful. So the question is why? Think of a time like currency. If every day you're given a fresh deposit, the question is not how much you have, but how do you spend it? And some invest wisely and their returns multiply. And while others spend it on everything and at the end of the day have little to show for it. The difference is simple. They go small. Going small means resisting the urge to do everything so you can focus on what matters. It's choosing purpose over pressure. Not everything that fills your day deserves your energy. In fact, many of the things we chase are distractions dressed up as productivity. And when you narrow your focus, you make room for impact. Success isn't built by doing more, it's built by doing what matters most, consistently and well. We often believe long to-do lists equal productivity, but in reality, they become to-don't lists, overwhelming and exhausting and discouraging. They're either paralyzing us or they keep us running in circles, busy but not advancing. Real progress comes when you stop trying to check every box and start choosing the right box. Your daily choice should be few but intentional, like taking one step at a time up a staircase. Small steps taken faithfully lead to a higher place. You only have so much time and so much energy. And when you overcrowd your day, you dilute your impact. So ask yourself today, what is the one decision that will give me the greatest return? And start there and stay there and watch what God builds through your focus. So today I want to talk to you about 7 major points. Going small, the power of focus, how to be faithful. The first is this, the gift of time. And here's what scripture says in Ephesians chapter 5, verse 15 and 16. Be very careful then how you live, making the most of every opportunity. Time is not just passing, it's being invested. Here's a tool. Time awareness audit. I want you to do this. I want you to track how you spend 24 hours. Identify what gives life versus what's draining you. And so how do you apply this? I want you to eliminate one low value habit today. So here's a question I want you to reflect on. Where is my time leaking? And what am I investing in that has no eternal return? And what would I change if I treated time as sacred? The next thing I want us to focus on what really matters. And here's a scripture, Luke chapter 10, verse 41 to 42. Mary has chosen what is better. And here's the truth that Jesus was teaching us. Not everything good is God's best. The one thing filter, I want you to do this. Does this move me towards my calling or distract me from it? And here's how I want you to apply it. Choose one priority today and give it your best energy. So here's a question. What is distracting me from what matters most? Am I choosing urgency over purpose? And what is my better portion today? I want us to look at the next one. Less, but better. Here's a scripture, Ecclesiastes 4:6. Better one handful with tranquility than a handful with toil. Peace comes from focus, not overload. Here's the tool. I want you to take task, it's called task rule limit your day to 3 things. And let those be your priority. I want you to write down your top 3 tasks and ignore the rest until they're done. And here's a question I want you to reflect from. Am I overloading my day unnecessarily? And what would happen if I did less but better? And where is God inviting me into simplicity? Faithfulness in the small. Luke chapter 16, verse 10. Whoever can be trusted with very little. And here's the truth. Big impact is built on small obedience. And consistency tracker, here's what we do with this. I want you to track one habit through prayer, reading, and discipline for 7 days. I want you to commit to one small faithful act today, but I want you to do it well. Here's some questions I want you to ponder. Am I overloading small opportunities for faithfulness? And where has inconsistency slowed my growth? And what small step is God asking me today? Guard your energy. Proverbs chapter 4, verse 23. Above all else, guard your heart. Here's the truth. Energy is as valuable as time. I want you to do an energy check. List what energizes versus what drains you. And how do we apply it? I want you to remove one draining activity or boundary, something that is violating your time. Here's some questions I want you to reflect on. What is depleting me emotionally or spiritually? Where do I need better boundaries? What restores me and aligns me with God? Number 6, here's the next one. Intentional living. Colossians chapter 3, verse 23. Whatever you do, work at it with all of your heart. The truth is this: intentional actions produce meaningful outcomes. Purpose alignment. Why am I doing this? And here's how I want you to apply it. Before each task, I want you to pause and ask, does this align with my purpose? And I want you to reflect. Am I living intentionally or reacting to life? What motivates my daily decisions? And how can I bring God into my routine? The power of one step. And here's the scripture, Psalms chapter 37, verse 23. The Lord makes firm the steps. The truth is this: God works through small, steady steps. Next step clarity. Identify the next step and make it the right step. Not the whole journey, but the one step. Take one bold, focused step towards calling it today. What's your calling? And let's reflect. What step have I been avoiding? Am I overwhelming by looking at the big picture? And what is God asking me to do next and not later? Going small, thinking small. It's thinking focused. God often does his greatest work through consistent, quiet obedience. I want to encourage you to stay faithful, stay focused, and trust that what you do in the small, he will multiply.